What's up, everybody? It's your boy Stephen J, and I'm here with Simply Steve, and we're talking about wrestling. WWE, WWF, WCW, UWF, WCW, AWA, maybe, just maybe, a little TNA. So let's get right into it. Monday Night Raw, first Monday Night Raw of 2015 kicks off with the Authority coming out, Triple H giving his State of the Union address, and I'm gonna give the first Monday Night Raw you would think of the year. This is gonna set the precedent to the road to WrestleMania, to SummerSlams, back to Survivor Series, back to whatever. Again, this is gonna set the precedent for the beginning of the year. And it has to be explosive. And I mean explosive like the shock when The Undertaker lost to Brock Lesnar, that type of shock. The excitement when Dolph Ziggler beat Seth Rollins at Survivor Series. You think that it would be something like that. Like, oh man, that's what's up. It left me in suspense. I did not expect that. But I gotta give it a C. I'm gonna have to give Monday Night Raw a C for just crappy. I'm gonna give it a C for crappy, and I had my expectations as to what I thought was gonna happen, but I was hoping that it wasn't so predictable that it wasn't gonna happen, but it did happen. So I eventually ended up being right, and I didn't want to be right, but I ended up being right, and I'm shocked about that, as I expected better from Triple H, Mr. McMahon, Stephanie, all the power-ups. This right here is how you can tell who they have writing the show. Guys that know nothing about wrestling. They probably got guys that write for like Psych. Oh, it's funny. Let's write The Mentalist, guys like that who write for shows, but that's no jack about wrestling whatsoever. So I got to give it a C. I was very disappointed. So Triple H comes out, does his State of the Union address, and they dubbed it John Cena Appreciation Night. And all throughout the night, they showed clips of John Cena, his miraculous feats, and who he battled up against. And I must say, my only the one that I liked was the John Cena, when they showed the clip of him and Kurt Angle meeting for the first time, and him and Undertaker meeting for the first time. Matter of fact, when he met the Undertaker was right after he had that match with Kurt Angle. And that is actually when I like John Cena. Man, maybe not when he was like ruthless aggression. That was so typical Vince McMahon right then and there, but nonetheless, I like that John Cena because he brought it. The match between him and Kurt Angle, legendary. The match that he had with The Undertaker, where he almost beat The Undertaker, it was good. And I think they had a feud. I don't know if John Cena was a doctor of Thugonomics. I know he was. But he, I'm trying to think. I think he had the United States title or whatever. The Undertaker beat him for whatever. Anyway, but his feud with The Undertaker was pretty good. That's the last time that I actually liked John Cena, and that was really long ago. So, what was the first match? Was Dolph Ziggler versus Bad News Barrett. I don't know how. I figured the match was going to be a pretty good match, and it was. Dolph Ziggler won, but they restarted the match, and it was best out of 3. And the match, I don't even know if I have a match of the night, but if I did have a match of the night, it would probably be this match was the match of the night.
I don't think there was a match of the night.
For me, I guess if I had to pick a match of the night, it would be Dolph versus Barrett as the match of the night for me. What else? After that first match, and they came out, oh, let's make this best out of 2 out of 3. You already knew what was coming down the pike. That everybody that was part of Team Cena was to end up going to get beat up or whatever, and they all eventually so-called got fired yesterday. And I gotta give them one credit, because even on today, they're listed as part of the alumni on the on the WWE.com website. So Ryback, Dolph, and Eric Rowan are listed as part of the alumni, not part of the active roster now. So I will give them credit for going at least that far.
Well, Barrett's so-called face run only lasted about a week because they were sharing him last week. The more Triple H said that he's facing Dolph Ziggler.
I don't think he got booed like that. I think he got booed when he started to like cheat in the match or whatever. And when Kane came down, and obviously he wasn't like, if he was like, no, let me fight this on my own, I don't need you or whatever, then it would have been a 50-50. We cheering for Dolph, cheering for Barrett. But the whole him aligning himself with the authority basically pretty much puts him in the heel category.
Alright, so then we had the Ascension come out and face some local guys.
First of all,
and they were naming some tag teams like the Ultimate Road Warriors and
What do you mean they were naming some tag teams like the Road Warriors?
Because I came out wrong at first. I said they were naming the tag team the Road Warriors and saying that they were better than them and stuff like that.
Not only did they name the Road Warriors, they also named Demolition. The reason why they named those two was because they look like the Road Warriors and Demolition as far as with the black and white paint and stuff like that. First of all, here's my problem with the Ascension. I love them in NXT. Why in the world would you bring this tag team in a division that's clearly lacking?
That's why, because they brought.
No, that's clearly lacking, but yet you give them a cartoonish gimmick versus the gimmick and what they were already doing in NXT. All they had to do was just bring that over. Now it's like, we're just going to come to the waistline because... No, this ain't 1980 anymore, man.
You talking about that they doing the gimmick thing. Bray Wyatt has a gimmick.
No, you're missing my point. It's the gimmick that they have right now is cartoonish. It's like, we got powers. That only works for Taker. That only works for The Undertaker. That's it. So you bring them in a division that's clearly lacking, only to have them come out as a joke and face the Miz, who are in Mizdow, who already fought that the previous night, and then
local people.
Their first time. Man, would you get with the show? And then yesterday you have them come out and face a bunch of two no names. I'm gonna call them Elijah and Elisha because they can't fight.
Hey.
So I'm like, who are these guys? Where do they find them at? A truck stop, or they give $5,000 to two fans to come in the ring to get beat up?
I'll take that.
I mean, come on. I mean, this is technically their debut.
When Ryback debuted, he was facing like Jobber for like a month.
Okay, that got Ryback over. Here's the problem with the Ascension. Everyone knows about them because a lot of people watch NXT. When the Ascension come out, everyone's quiet. You can hear crickets when they come out because it's like, okay, here they are. Yeah, are they gonna fly in the air now? Are they gonna disappear?
They can face
back on.
The Golden Stardust, Tyson Kidd, and
exactly. If you're gonna come out and you're gonna try to make an impact, you go after some of the top guys. Go after the Usos. Go after Mizdow. Go after Golden Stardust. First of all, you got to make a name for yourself. Go after those guys. Don't sit there and come out and then have them face nobodies that can't even make it in NXT.
All right,
so I give them so far an F for failure, man. Here's the thing I noticed about NXT, and I still haven't picked on of what, like, most guys that come out, the fans chant something with each one, and they have their own running that goes with it or whatever. The Ascension had that. They were a great tag team. I liked them in NXT. Here, they just, this is how you know right here that they got guys that don't know what they're doing. You don't actually have wrestlers doing the show. And again, if you want to make an impact, get people to show some type of interest in you, do something that's popular. Do something that's like, oh wow, okay. Most tag team that came into the WWE or WCW, any tag team, they have made a name for themselves. They went after the top guys. I would at least had them name the Dudley Boys. I would at least had them name Edge and Christian or Jeff and Matt Hardy. Come on, you go way back to Road Warriors and Demolition
because they look like them sort of. That's why they named them. All right, so we had Roman Reigns and the Big Show.
Not a good match, I don't think. I don't know why they're
feuding because because Big Show said Roman Reigns interfered with him or whatever like that when he was trying to take out Cena.
Yeah, but again, my point is, it's a feud that nobody cares about because they don't match up well.
Well, they're trying
Big
to
Slow is slow, and Roman Reigns is just. I mean, I guess what Punk said is make him look strong. Every time I see Roman Reigns, I just think about that. Make him look strong. And it's just like, okay.
I see him Punk on the mind.
I just don't get it.
Alright, so then we had Natalya versus Nikki Bella. Natalya won from distraction from Paige. I guess they're friends now or whatever. Alright, so then we had Eric Rowan versus Luke Harper. There was no referee, and I was thinking maybe Bray Wyatt was going to be a referee at first because I just thought that would be funny. But it was actually J&J Security, of course, coming up, messing with Luke Harper a lot.
Another joke match, which
Eric Rowan to lose.
My only part was I like the 2 clotheslines that he gave. I love Luke Harper's clothesline. It reminds me of JBL, and JBL said it right. I mean, when he clotheslines somebody, yeah, that's what he has.
Cool, that's awesome. Alright, so then we had the ambulance match between Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt. Again, they're trying to make they're trying to make Bray look big for Taker.
This match took way too long. I mean,
how long was it supposed to be? I think it was like maybe 15, 20 minutes.
It seemed longer than that. And the only highlight was when Dean went on top of the ambulance and jumped down on Bray. So to me, it just got
Dean done lost every single match.
He didn't lose every match.
Well, he won the boot camp match, but that was it. Bray Wyatt beat him in everything. My
thing is the matches, it doesn't have the same flair. And I mean, you gotta have maybe Dolph Ziggler and Bray may work because you have an ultimate face versus an ultimate heel versus a heel versus an anti-heel, technically anti-hero or whatever. And it's just I don't see Dean on that same wave that he was on before. I mean, there's good highlights, but it ain't like him and Seth Rollins. And Bray Wyatt, to me, just hasn't been the same since he hasn't fought John Cena.
Alright, so then we had the Usos and Naomi versus The Miz, Damien Mizdow, and Alicia Fox. The Miz and Mizdow won and because one of the Usos almost hit his wife off the rope, and he used his roll up and would have held his tights on. So obviously they'll get their rematch, maybe at the Royal Rumble or this Friday or SmackDown or something. I don't know.
I don't really care about the match.
Alright, so then we had Ryback versus Seth Rollins and Kane. Again, another 2 situation. Again, just beating down Team Cena for what happened at Survivor Series, everything like that. Ryback held his own pretty good for a while, though. I'll give him that.
I see they're still trying to push Ryback. I still think, it's like him and Rusev forgot about each other. I don't get it. You have them feud for a couple weeks, and then unless you magically somewhere decided to sign Kurt Angle that nobody knows about, who's going to make his in-ring debut at Royal Rumble, unless you did that, then that's the only way I can see this makes a little bit of sense. Because I would have had Ryback first face Seth Rollins and had Rusev come down and interfere, or had Rusev and Seth versus Ryback. Then it would have made more sense as far as the feud.
They had something last week. Remember he was saying Dolph Ziggler and Ryback came down and saved him and gave his life story.
Okay, again,
this week is because the authorities back.
I understand that, but again, when you had him and Jack were joined every week. So again, if you gotta build something up, you need to build it the right way. Right now, it's flat.
All right, so then we had Big E versus Adam Rose, the new Adam Rose or whatever like that. That's what he says. That's what he calls himself now.
So then you had who I thought at first was a new tag team because they had on masks. And it ended up being Cesaro and
Tyson Kidd.
I cannot stay. I just don't like Tyson Kidd.
Against the New Day.
I just feel bad for the guy that they going through the alphabet of trying new stuff with this man, and so far ain't none of it working. Let's
ain't been successful since the Hart Dynasty was done.
Let's send you to NXT.
He already been in NXT.
I know, I understand that. Let's send you to NXT. See what you can do there. We still don't got nothing. Oh, Natty's wife. Let's make him feud. Now let's make him feud. Possibly a little something going on between him and the Bellas or whatever. This and the other. Let's try this now. Oh, let's try this. Let's put a mask on him. And I hope they don't put Cesaro as a tag team. I mean, I liked it when him and Jack Swagger was a tag team. It worked a little bit. But Cesaro, I think, is too much of a talent for you to waste with Tyson Kidd.
I'm trying to do something with Tyson Kidd, that's why.
With Tyson Kidd.
Alright, so then after that, you had Johnson Appreciation Night, called Cena out, whatever like that, and basically fired everybody on Team Cena.
And his dumb butt didn't say a daggone thing. Why did you show up on a show?
He said it's mandatory, he showed up.
No, why would you show up to only stand there like this? And put your head down.
What was he supposed to say?
Okay, if I'm writing the show, I would have been like, okay, if this is the way you're growing, then fire me because I quit. If you're gonna fire them, I quit. I would have had some little bit of respect for John Cena because it would have showed, oh, he's sticking up for these guys. He didn't say a daggone thing. If you're the face of the company, hold on, you're the face of the company, and you know you're the face of the company. So therefore, then, if you're gonna fire them, fire me because if you don't, I'm gonna quit. And what are you gonna do without me? Because you want me to pull my weight around? Now I'm pulling my weight. What are you gonna do without me?
Well, okay, I see where you're going with it, but one, he really wouldn't quit because he ain't trying to give up the opportunity with Brock. Second,
it would have made a better show versus it being so predictable. Him standing there.
Well, first they were talking about they're gonna suspend him for like a number of days, and then there's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna fire you.
Yeah, I knew that's what they were gonna do when they walked out of the ring. I knew that's what was gonna happen.
I was like, get him, and I thought that all three was about to jump him or something.
Again, it was predictable, and then they still put up a poll on Facebook last night. Did you enjoy the show? And for when I clicked on the Facebook link, it had been probably maybe 5,000 people had already voted, and 4,500 or something said no already, and it was like maybe a couple hundred that said yes, we like the show. And I put typical show. It was so predictable. You knew that this was gonna happen or whatever.
Maybe we'll see Sting next week.
What for? What for?
You bring some excitement to the show.
You're not gonna sing Sting until Royal Rumble.
Well, I mean, I only say that because now that the Authority's back, they're just going to do typical Authority stuff. They added Seth Rollins to the main event, so now it's Cena versus Brock versus Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Which I like that because no one wants to see Brock versus Cena again. Nobody wants to see that again. And again, if it's true that Brock leaves to go to back to MMA,
his contract's over like April, so he still got to WrestleMania.
Well, again, that doesn't mean anything. He could still lose the title to Cena, and then Seth Rollins comes in and snatches the title away because he has his Money in the Bank or whatever, which is coming up, mind you.
Oh yeah, he got about 7 months.
He don't got no 7 months.
Money in the Bank is in July.
No, he didn't win it in July. When did he win the Money in the Bank?
And Money in the Bank.
No, he did not.
He won Money in the Bank briefly at Money in the Bank.
I could have swore it was before that, and no. I don't think it was July. I thought it was around May.
Maybe it was June or something. I don't know. I think it was June because they had 2 pay-per-views that month.
Anyway, so I was quite disappointed with the first pay-per-view on Monday Night Raw. So Dolph losing the title. I don't know if this again is a feud that they're going to have between him and Barrett.
Could that be
to keep him? No, to keep him as a mid card versus actually give him. Here's my thing: if Daniel Bryan comes in and gets a push that surpasses Dolph push, I'm gonna be very upset about that. If Randy Orton comes back,
because he got surgery,
and gets a push that surpasses Dolph Ziggler, I'm gonna be upset about that. Again, no one has worked their butt off more than Dolph Ziggler this year. Daniel Bryan was on the since last year. The show off has showed off, and I say it started that night on SmackDown that he had that match with Seth Rollins, which was a great match.
After Seth betrayed the Shield,
and ever since then, Dolph has been given match performance, and has not been rewarded. Let's give him the IC title or whatever.
It's kind of rewarding. I think he's a 4-time IC title now champion.
Okay, the guy has gone already past being a mid card. He main evented Survivor Series and won it, and he's still getting pop. People, he's still putting on a heck of a show. And if Daniel Bryan goes past him, Randy Orton goes past him,
they already passed him.
Then it's such a problem. I have such a problem.
So when think they're gonna be back?
Who?
Ziggler now.
Next week.
Next week.
Alright. I guarantee they'll be there next week. I don't have any TNA news other than that I think next week is they're going to be on Destination America the first time on their new network. It'll be interesting to see what the ratings are. A lot of people figure it's going to be pretty good for them. I haven't watched it, so it'll be good to see Bobby Lashley, Bobby Roode, Brodus Clay, Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, and see what they do. And I'm trying to remember if Jeff Hardy is back with the company or not. I don't remember, but I know he had drug issues, so that's why he ain't in WWE anymore.
If he can fix it, then he can come back.
Let's see. Other than that, I keep forgetting to record Lucha Underground to see what that's about again.
I heard we saw that commercial. They're doing some kind of 20-man, I think, battle royal or something like that.
So I got to make sure I set the recording for that. Other than that, that's about it. All we have for wrestling right now. So for Stephen J and for Simply Steve, we are done early talking about wrestling. 22 minutes, 41 seconds in. Peace.